All right, you guys, this video is for my girls that like a semi to full glam, even in summer, but don't have a ton of time to do your makeup. But you want the look, you don't have the time, no worries. I'm gonna show you how to get a really fast but flawless foundation look, including your contour, your bronze, and your concealer, all in just a couple steps. And believe me, if you don't know this technique or you haven't tried it, now is the time to try it, because once you do, you'll never go back to your old ways of applying your foundation. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 54. No, I'm not. I'm 55 now. Shoot, that's the second time I've done that. Okay, I've been 55 for a little over a month. Should know by now. Okay, let's retake. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie. I'm here to tell you the good, the bad, what products are worth it, what products don't worry about spending your money on because they don't work, and doing some tutorials and show you some fun little tips and tricks and hacks along the way. Today's hack is one of my favorites. Again, for those of us that like a full glam but don't have time to do a full glam and we don't want to look like we've done a full glam of makeup, I've got the best makeup application tip that you don't want to miss. Before I jump into it, I want to remind you, if you're not following me over on social media, be sure to follow me on Instagram. Here's where to follow me. Here's what you'll see. I share with you more about who I am as a person, and that may be important to some of you. I know I like to know more about the people that I'm following. I just get a better sense of if I like their style and if I find them a little more trustworthy or not trustworthy. It's just my own little thing. But anyway, if you want to know more about me and my life and my husband and our family and our dog and all that, they also make an occasional appearance over on Instagram. All right, you guys, so let's get into it, because you are going to want to try this. I promise you. I'll tell you everything that you need so we can get started. I feel like these earrings just added a little bit of, I don't know, flower power to the whole look that I wasn't anticipating, but it's summer, so, you know, it's my hippie vibe. I'm loving it. All right, you guys, let's get into this, because this is such an easy process that you're gonna really love the final results. And it's one of those processes where as you're doing it, you're kind of like, Jody, how in the world is this gonna turn out? But I promise you, trust the process, it is going to turn out. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek of the results of this final look by taking a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, HSN. See, I told you, you're gonna absolutely love this final look. So let's talk about today's sponsor. I wanna thank HSN for sponsoring today's video. So if you're like me and you like shopping for new skincare, new beauty, new makeup products, then hsn.com is definitely the place to go. I get a little bit overwhelmed with online beauty shopping. You know what I'm talking about, where you're scrolling. I want to know a little bit more about the products. I want to see how to use them. I want to see before and after pictures before I spend my hard-earned money on them. When they reached out to me and said they wanted to sponsor one of my videos, I took a look at their skincare lineup just to see what's new. And I was a bit surprised at some products, some brands even, that I had not even heard of. One of those brands is Skin. This is their Neck Amore Advanced Redensifying Serum with stem cells and peptides. Over the last year or so, I've really noticed the lines on my neck starting to be more obvious. So I've been on the lookout for a nice neck serum. And this one I've been using for 2 weeks. Really excited to see the continued results. Very hydrating, absorbs nice and quickly into the skin. Another product that I was excited to use was Beckham 1802's face mask. While the brand isn't new to me, I've loved many of their products, I did not know they had this face mask. This is their Milk RX Compressed Advanced Better Aging Cream Infused Mask. It has polypeptides, and look how nice it goes around your jaw. I just leave it on for 20 minutes, take it off, and then absorb all the nice nutrients. And I don't want to waste any of the goodness that comes off of this mask, so I'll use whatever's left over. Of course, on my neck, my chest, the back of my hands are always a must. I've made it really easy for you to shop the 2 products that I found from HSN. You'll find them linked down below in the description box. I'm definitely going to spend more time on HSN, not only to discover new beauty finds, but stuff for the home, outdoors, and of course, fashion. A big thanks to HSN for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back and show you how to create this easy look. So let's get this look underway. First thing I'm gonna do is a little bit of contour up in this area. You don't have to do this step, but if you contour like I do, because I have a receding hairline and I wanna fake that, and you won't see the contour when it's all done, then this is what you'll want to do. I am using the Age Rewind Erase by Maybelline. As you know, I pull the sponges off. I have this in 160, which is pink. I love it. This one is in 4 475. It might be 47.5. I'll link it down below. It's just a darker shade. It's great for contour and for blush. Not blush, contour and bronzer if it works for your skin tone. Just gonna get a little bit on the end of my brush and I'm going to dot it on both sides. Now you'll see with this, you guys, I don't want to keep it in dots, so I just want to blend those out. The dots were really for your effect, but the whole point is to add some contour in this area. And you don't really need to blend it in. You just want to make sure that the consistency of the product is smooth everywhere. And again, trust this process. I like to go just about that far. Keep it away from the temples if you're like me and you've lost volume in your temples. I will add something else in that area. But this is kind of where I would put my contour. I'll also take it right along my jawline, just like that, to hide any of those sagging jowls. Now, you want to stay tuned for Friday's video where I'm going to share some of my favorite new products over the last 45 days. And one of them is from a company called Marie that goes right through here, and I'm really noticing a difference. So stay tuned for that. I know that sounds like a heck of a teaser. I didn't mean for that to sound like such a teaser. I've really enjoyed the Marie products lately. I've tried, I think this will be the third or fourth one, and they don't disappoint, and they're at a price point that is palatable, for lack of a better word. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my cheeks just to give a little bit of definition, and then there's some left on my brush, so I'll just go on the side of my nose. You don't have to do that. It's not necessary. Now, you might be saying, Jody, you forgot your foundation. That is in fact the point of undersculpting. It's your moisturizer and your sunscreen, or your sunscreen and your moisturizer, whichever way you layer those. Many school of thoughts on that. I was always taught that if it is a mineral sunscreen, it goes on over your moisturizer. If it is a chemical sunscreen, it goes on before your moisturizer. I've talked to dermatologists and I get different answers. So the point is, make sure that you wear your sunscreen. Which way you put it between your moisturizer or after moisturizer is dependent on you and maybe what your dermatologist says. All right, next I'm gonna use some liquid blush. This is the Cloud Blush by Ulta Beauty. Love this. I'm just going to, look, I almost went right on my cheek. I never do that. I know better. I've done that before and it rarely turns out nice for me. So I am just going to, I used to have that nice white fluffy Wet n Wild brush, and I wonder if I finally threw that away. Gosh, I really love that one for blush. I probably did throw it away. Here is BK Beauty's 116. Love this brush as well. So we're just gonna put a little bit of blush on the brush. Make sure that there is no clumps in it. Not clumps, I just don't want a lot of product in one area. So we're just going to go back. Now here you could just go right like that and then blend it out. That's totally fine too. The whole point is to go quick and not worry about really the precision of it all. And I'm gonna go a little darker because I like blush to really show in the summer. In terms of blush placement, I like to go to the center of my eye and bring it down and then just go over, just scoot it over just a little. And then that's the high point, kind of no lower than my nose. And then up into an angle. So kind of like that. And it looks like I got more on this side. See, you can go totally on your face and then blend it out with a brush. Not a big deal. So something like that. Now you guys, for the next step, you're going to really enjoy this. This is my concealer. I'm using the Double Wear by Estee Lauder. Use whatever concealer you have. I do not need a lot of this concealer, and so if you are a concealer person and need concealer, you don't need a lot. The thinner, the better with any concealer. If you find that your concealer doesn't cover enough, go and grab a color corrector and then put a light coat of your concealer over it. I'm just gonna go in with my fingers and press that down. I'm gonna go on top of my eyelids. Now the key with this is if you wear a tinted moisturizer, this will work. If you wear a full coverage foundation, this will work. If you wear a medium coverage, this will work. If you wear a tinted moisturizer, you may just find that you have to adjust the pigment of the shades that you're wearing underneath it. It just depends on how well your tinted moisturizer is going to cover the areas that we need to cover, especially with all the different colors that we have going on. So now that my under eye area is covered up and the purple is gone, I'm just gonna take whatever concealer is left on my nose. Here comes the magic. I am going to, normally I would use my Complexion Crush by Ulta Beauty. I absolutely love, love, love this. Many of you have gotten this since I first talked about it, and because I've heard from you in the comments. It is so good. I absolutely love this. I did have one lady tell me that my foundation looked patchy. I don't see that, and I don't see it in the camera, and I definitely don't see it out in person. So big, big fan, 16 bucks, can't beat it. But it's a little more full coverage, and I wanted to show that you don't need a full coverage necessarily for that. So I'm gonna use the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is the semi-matte formula. I like this one better than the white tube. I don't like the glowiness of that one nearly as well. This does have a nice soft glow. I feel like the one in the white tube is a little too glowy. Remember back in our early 20s, if you're like me and you had oily skin and your nose would get really shiny halfway through the day because of the oil production? I felt like the white bottle of this product just resembled that a little bit more than I would like it to all over my face. All right, I'm gonna grab the BK Beauty 106. As you guys know, this is my favorite foundation brush. I am just going to put a few little dots, almost like a smiley face minus the lips, on my brush. And I'm going to go dot it all over on top of what we just placed. Now, the great thing about this process is you saw there's not great placement. This is not great placement going on, which makes it fun because many of us don't have time to go really precise with our makeup in the middle of summer all day, every day. We just want something a little bit fast, a little bit fun, looks good, and we don't have to spend too much time on it. And you literally just take your foundation and pounce. We're not trying to move it around, so you don't want to rub or push. You really are just pouncing that foundation or tinted moisturizer, tinted serum, whatever you're using, all into your skin. Because again, we don't want to move anything. We have put that stuff where we want it, kind of. And what this does is creates a veil over those colors and just gives them the most softly muted, barely there kind of look. This technique is really good for those of you that are intimidated by blush or contour and you're not really sure where to put it, how to put it. This makes it easier because it's not the first thing that you see. It's not even really there for you to see it because you're putting that foundation or your base over the top of it. And if you need a little more, go back and get a little more. I need to go down my neck because it is a little darker. See how easy the whole look is coming together? And when you're done, it looks as though you have contoured and blushed. It looks like you've done your makeup like a pro. You just want to make sure that you take that brush over everything. I mean, you guys are watching the magic happen in real time. There's no editing, there's nothing, there's no filters, there's nothing. You are seeing how easy that look comes together, and you saw how dark that contour was. You don't have to worry too much about it because it all softly gets a soft matted glow right on top of it, and that's pretty much it. Isn't that super easy? It's so easy. Now I do need to do the rest of my makeup, but at this stage, the only makeup I really have left to do is my eyes because my face, my blush, it's all done. See how easy that is, you guys? So don't be afraid of undersculpting. It is such a fun, quick process. You can just kind of slap on your contour, your blush, and your concealer and don't even really worry about it because you're gonna cover over everything with that foundation. And if you wear a tinted moisturizer where the coverage is a little more sheer to medium, you might need to go over some of those areas more than once, or just make sure that it's blended really nicely, but you get the most flawless, very on-trend look with your foundation. And now I'll go do my eyes and be right back. All right, so just like that, little eye makeup and a quick little touch of color and gloss to the lips, and we are ready to go. Now you can add a little bit more shine to this if you think, gosh, I want a little more of a glow. Then two things. One, either you can add a little bit of highlighter if you want glow just in certain areas, or if you want more of an all over glow, then just make sure that your base, whether it is your tinted moisturizer, tinted serum, whatever that final product is that you put all over, just make sure that the finish is a satin, radiant, or natural finish. Those are words that will typically come in front of the finish. When you go to buy the product, it will say that it is a satin finish or a glowy finish or a natural finish, radiant. I've seen flawless as a word, although that doesn't really describe the glow or lack of glow that it gives. The Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue that I use is a soft matte, and that's just the look that I like. I do add a little bit of highlight if I feel like I need it from time to time. Now you can also go back and touch up anything that you feel like you want a little more color to or a little more coverage. For me, this is perfect for an easy summer. I'm out and about, but I didn't spend a ton of time getting ready. Well, let me know in the comments if you guys have done under sculpting, what you think of it, and yeah, it's super, super easy. I love it. It just turns us all into pro makeup artists. Kind of. That does it for me today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in just a couple days. Bye-bye.